But saying all of this still does not go into the existence of wisdom gems, the subbots, mirror, and more. Well, let me explain each. The wisdom gem is a storage device capable of storing an undisclosed and possibly an infinite amount of data, as well, from what I can understand, is a form of energy. It's possible that these gems are made from a larger gem that might reside in the foundation of the subnet. These gems could be a product of electron formation in a solid state, allowing both storage of data on a quantum computer level and energy that could be compared to 100 suns. Almost like a nuclear battery, but more stable and useful. Also, they could be made from the remains of collapsed universes. All the energy that would be in a collapsed universe and refined in a gem could be immensely powerful, and perhaps it's how the subnet itself stands on its own without collapsing, which at first you might think it's a bad. Sag mal, wie lange sind diese Sätze? Which at first you might think it's bad. In a way it's like recycling. Using these remains of a dead universe as a form of a data and energy. Okay, this could be almost infinite energy and storage at the fingertips. Ja, jetzt wissen wir es langsam. But also it can be used as a form of repairing device. Ja, mach mal. It's capable of fixing and even changing the form of each place after subnet is possible as usage of wisdom gems. Verzeihung, ich bin da ein bisschen... Ich komme aus diesen Sätzen nicht raus. Using the remains of a dead universe as a form of a data and energy, this could be almost infinite energy and storage at the fingertips, but also it can be used as a form of repairing device that is capable of fixing and even changing the form of each space of the subnet. The possibilities of usage of the wisdom gems are limitless at this time. But as stated, there could be a core where these gems are carved from. This is probably the foundation of the subnet, and if it was ever destroyed, it could collapse the entire subnet itself. Could be a good idea if it is bleeding into other worlds, but this can be proven also a very bad thing to do as well. That will be explained later in this. The subbots are a form of repair. Now, woher kommen diese Subbots? Wo haben wir denn die gesehen? Das sagt mir überhaupt nichts. Ich höre das nur hier im Submachine Universe. Wo, in welcher Folge sind denn die Subbots vorgekommen? Verstehe ich nicht. The subbots are a form of repair. Now it's possible that they could have been made by man, perhaps the original creators of the subnet, or both. But how? Simple, really, if you think about it. The subnet was possibly made before humans discovered it. Even so, humans made it theirs to do as they will. That's saying humans could have made some sort of robots capable of research of the subnet, but also there could have been original subbots as well that at one time existed to maintain the subnet as well as a factory. Whether the explorers found said factory and the sketches were just a description of the progress of old subbots before the production of new ones, when the factory became active once more, whether it be from human design or the design of updated presence of a hive brain AI in control of the subnet. Also, it is possible that subbots made by humans were captured and reprogrammed into becoming workers on the subnet. Also, any of which is a strong possibility, but... Moment, ich muss mal kurz den Ton ein bisschen runter, ich glaube, der verwirrt mich. Any of which is a strong possibility, but what we do know is that if a mechanical presence is in the subnet, it probably has been there before humans knew about it. As well as a possibility of an AI made for these subbots, as well as a networked security for the defense grid and more. Er benutzt keine Satzzeichen, deswegen habe ich so Probleme. Das ist es, hat kein Komma, nichts. Ich hole den Sound wieder hervor. And now we have mer, which at this point we can confirm is only after one goal, and that is to get to the bottom of what the subnet could be hiding, whether it be the foundation of the net or the controls. We are not clear if he is a residual AI that was made by either the real mer or the organization that we have heard vaguely. We know at one point mer did exist, since he is known to have pages describing his time at Kent and his karma arm, so we cannot say he never existed as a human. But as this is said, we cannot be sure that he was a human from our universe. Ach man, oh, Verzeihung, aber das ist ein bisschen mühsam. So, hier bin ich. It is possible that the organization had some sort of knowledge of the subnet interacting with other universes, and it is possible that the organization was formed in other universes as well, using the subnet as a way to communicate with each other. Mer might have been the key used to get in deeper into the subnet, but wouldn't you figure something happened that could have made Mer either go rough from the plan and is out to destroy the subnet, or perhaps he is just trying to complete his duty that he was assigned from the organization. We are not too sure about the absolute motive, but we know that it is not good. Jetzt komme ich nicht mehr draus. Wovon reden die jetzt? Von einer Organisation? Das waren doch vorhin Aliens. Naja gut, Now we get to the construction of the subnet. This is interesting to say the least. The subnet exists as a hybrid of hyper-reality bleeding in with reality itself. This means that things that could exist might not exist how we see it. That some of the random locations of the subnet might not exist as actual locations, but were made to how we can see them. This might have been done as a byproduct of the wisdom gem, since it can store an immense amount of data. That means it can also store and create areas with just the power of the subnet has. It could also be a fragment of what remained as a memory of a space in the universe that was destroyed, and the wisdom gem is just merely emulating it. But no matter how real it might seem, it is just how we perceive it. That means some locations are just staged and may not have a real connection to it anymore. This can be proven as a best example in the Submachine Network Exploration experience at locations 103 and 673. This all means that the subnet can emulate and change things that can be real, just like how a computer can show and change an image. You may think that this could contradict on how the subnet is bleeding into all universes, but this is not true. As how some parts are emulated to look real, some are actually real and still show a residual capture of how they were once part of other universes and still are. Finally, we are down to if the subnet should be destroyed or allowed to stay existent. The answer to this is to allow it to exist, but to shut it down rather than let it be active. If the original creators, that is, if they ever existed in the first place, knew that this was bad and shut it down, knew that this was bad and shut it down, then it was for good reason. As to now, it is to shut it down. Ich verstehe es nicht mehr. Ich verstehe wirklich nicht mehr, wovon das der jetzt redet. Was ist denn so böse an diesem Submachine? If we allow it to be active, it will engulf entire universes and continue to expand as it continues to bleed into time and space. Wie viel Mal willst du dich noch wiederholen? Into time and space itself. If we destroy it, though, it might be even worse, as I am sure if the original creators existed, they knew that this as a bad thing to do as well. Also ich bin jetzt wirklich ein bisschen verwirrt. Bin ich das Problem? Kann ich das nicht lesen? This is because the subnet is at the center of everything, going all out in every direction. The subnet stands at the exact center. This means that the subnet is the very foundation of existence itself, and by destroying it, we risk destroying all of existence along with it. The worst case scenario is that if the subnet could not be shut down since its operation has gone beyond any known control, destroying the subnet might be the only foreseeable way to stop its invasion in other universes in the eyes of humans, or in the eyes of Mer at least. Okay, jetzt haben wir da unten noch irgendwas, da habe ich vorhin schon ein bisschen reingelesen. He fell. Get the thing off of me, get it off. Protocol accordant retreat. Go to end rest 157. No idea what to do next. Seems I've been everywhere. Get this thing off of me. No more writing. Okay, was steht denn da? On the left you see the side of 613 and on the right both of bright red color. There are a bedside table. Ich habe hier eine... Ach so, das sind zwei Portale. Ah, da komme ich jetzt dann gleich hin. Ah, jetzt komme ich dann raus. Jetzt kommen wir dann von der anderen Seite her. Moment. Ich habe den falschen vorgelesen, sorry. In the left side of the portal there's a huge deep pit. In it can found the archway by into the void. If you go deeper, the ladder is broken and there's a note that clues to 157. There is also a note that references coordinates 103 and 673. However, when you try to enter this in the portal, it will not take you there. Also 673 might be a typo, which should clue to the new basement 672. Was stand da unten? 672, nein, wo geht das hin? 673. Sehe ich nicht, wo das da referenziert wird. Ist ja egal, auf jeden Fall. Wir gehen weiter zur Second Area und jetzt kommen wir dann, jetzt seht ihr es dann, was ich da gesehen habe. 6, 1, 4. So. Da sind wir jetzt nicht weit gereist, jetzt sind wir nämlich gerade nebenan. Hier, ne? Wir waren vorhin, Verzeihung, hier links und jetzt sind wir hier rechts. Und da haben wir ein Verzeihung. Ein Kammerportal, da gehe ich dann nachher durch. Und hier haben wir dieses komische rote Ding, wovon ich jetzt da geredet habe. Lesen wir es mal kurz durch. Theory by Rapid Dracoon 808. Submachine Theory of its existence. Submachine, first a program, now a word of its own. Its existence simple. Wollt ihr mich verarschen? It's an existence simple, a program that, through the simple AI, became a dimensional portal throughout time and space. Expansion theory is proof of it. But how come it exists in the first place? Well, at the start of World War III, a defense program called Safe Havens was built, aka Submachine. The best scientists the world came together to build it. Now, during its current state, most passed away from unknown causes or went to work on FLF, Future Loop Foundation. From what I understand, means Future Loop Foundation, yeah, which I just said, yeah. By now, most people thought it was desolate of human life, except the vast amounts of human technology throughout the network, such as bathrooms and living quarters. There's life inside Submachine, but very little knowledge of its power source. Very little is known because few have set forth in Submachine. There is knowledge of one source of power crystals found in some ancient ruins. They have been seen to power mysterious cube-like vehicles and a suspicion that they power strange teleportation devices with 3-digited codes. There's also electric power because simple lights throughout Submachine. Some scientists, including me, think most of its power comes from the AI itself or some other form of witchcraft. Even though there's proof of little technical advances from photography of projectors, radios, old lights and regular doors from a classified source, we do know that there is powerful technology thanks to proof that is run by AI and a sketch from within Submachine of advanced computers and security systems, which we also believe are monitored by the AI. We have received into from a news source as well. It calls itself MER. We are uncertain with the info because raising suspicions of it being the AI itself. But we have learned its power from these messages as well. Interessante Theorie grundsätzlich, dass die AI, dass da irgendjemand jetzt da redet von wegen, die haben da den MER, der MER hat sie kontaktiert und sie wissen nicht, ob das die AI sei. It invited us into safer heaven to explain questions, thinking it was a trap. Some stayed behind while me and 2 others entered the recording devices we had. Didn't seem to work as if corrupted. We couldn't believe that MER and or the AI was this powerful. And after a few days of exploration, a member of our exploration disappeared and the other was growing mad.